It is easy to make that mistake, but it's nice for these guys that they're just going to start where they go back out on the track.
So right now it is Kyle Busch, your race leader, as we've knocked down 32 total laps. We've had two leaders. Joey Logano led for 21 laps. Kyle's led the last 11. Casey Kane has moved up to second. Carl Edwards is now third. And let's get an idea on the condition on the 22 from Brad Keselowski himself. Let's listen to the radio.
My car really came in after about lap 20, which is, I haven't identified it as air pressure or whatever it is, but it just was hammering the right front. I couldn't tell if it was spring or valence. As I moved up the track, it hit it even harder. So.
That was Brad Keselowski inside the pole-winning car, and you saw what happened in lap 1. The car, the valence hit the racetrack, and it scooted up the racetrack, and he lost about 3 positions, and it moved all the way back now to 5th. The good news is that air pressure was down, so the car was hitting and bouncing on the track. Now the pressures are up, and he's saying the car feels good now. I can start making my way back toward the front, but they've warned him, just be patient and stay there. It's a long day here at Bristol, guys.
I wonder if that's a similar situation for Kelly Byers, because he's now settled into 8th position after falling back.
And I'll tell you, this 22 car was coming to the front right before that caution came out.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's talk about Super Chef Jamie Oliver. He's coming to the unhealthiest city in America to start the ultimate food fight, and what he does here could change an entire nation. Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution. It's a 2-hour premiere Friday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, with a special sneak preview tomorrow at 10 Eastern on ABC. Great view from high above here at Bristol Motor Speedway as we are under our first caution. We were looking at cars that were really on the move. How about young Coleman Presley? Robert's son moved up 17 positions. Robert had 10 Nationwide Series victories. Let's get an update from Vince.
Well, and it may be his first time in the Nationwide car here at Bristol, but he's got plenty of experience with him. Steve Plattenberg, the crew chief, worked with Coleman's dad, Robert, back in the day, and also Dale Cagle spotting for Coleman today. He's done a lot of work with Ricky Rudd in the past, so some veterans with the young kid here today, looking good early.
Kyle Busch decided to take the high line, and it pays dividends on the restart as we're back to green flag racing. Joey Logano also on that high line, moves into second, and Casey Kane's getting shuffled a little.
Yeah, he had trouble getting started right there on the restart. I don't know if he spun his tires. Looks like he's a little bit loose down on the bottom. I think we're already starting to see that the preferred line is going to be the middle to the top of this racetrack throughout this day.
Greg Biffle has gotten around the 38, and right now he's got his hands full with the 60 of Carl Edwards. And here comes Brad Keselowski, right along side by side, now nose to tail with Carl.
You see Casey Kane, who we talked about, was a little slower on the start. With a harder tire, you have to really make sure that you get the tires cleaned off and try to get a little bit of heat in them for a restart, because it takes them a little bit of time to come in. So you have to work extra hard under caution, keeping your tires cleaned off and a little bit of heat there, so you'll be ready for the restart.
And what Brad said about after lap 20 really seems to speak volumes on that.
Yeah, and it'll even take, now he was coming to the front before the caution, and now that they've had a caution, it may take a few more laps for his car to come back in, even though he has the same tires on the car. Here's the exact situations we see Brad trying to make that pass on the inside of Carl Edwards that I was thinking as I came here, knowing that they had narrowed the groove on the exit of the corners by 3 feet, that this was going to make it difficult to make a pass on the inside. I think we're going to see the guys get up in the middle, try to make a diamond of this by going up in the center and then driving straighter off and giving them a better shot on the exit of the corner. So taking that space away from the outside groove affects more of the inside groove on getting off the corner. Yeah, just because that outside car is not going to be as far out there as what he once was. He's going to use all of the track, but there's 3 feet less of it, so therefore you have more wheel in the car, which makes your car get loose.
Let's go back just a little bit further in this pack. That's Stephen Wallace up high, Justin Allgaier, who finished 5th here last year. It's a battle for 10th place on the racetrack, and Leffler is in this mix as well, and that's right, Jason is in the 10 car once again. That's going to happen about 6 more times this year. First look at Paul Menard in the 98. He's got some Tide sponsorship on the front foot of that 98 machine. And there right underneath him is John West Townley. And in the 7 car, no, it's not Danica Patrick. It is Scott Wimmer. And this is the first of a 2-race deal for him.
Yeah, Scott Wimmer driving the car this weekend. They're trying to keep that car up in the owner's points, so when Danica does come back, she'll have a car that will have points and she won't have to worry about making the field on time. And also a good opportunity for somebody like Scott Wimmer to get in here, a former winner in the series, and get in some races. This is the second spot.
Battle is heating up for second. Joey Logano's got a mirror full of the 38 of Casey Kane.
So he got those tires cleaned off now.
Yeah, and he'd come up and taken that second spot away. As you see, really working the high line here off of turn 2. He's going to take that second spot away now. So it looks like it may take Casey's car a few laps to come in, but he's letting Kyle Busch get a little too far away. See how long it takes if he can run him down.
Let's get an update on the 20, Jamie Little.
Well, Joey Logano came on the radio, told his crew he's getting tight in the center and it's getting worse as it goes. He says he needs it to turn a little better. And when Kyle Busch got around him a little while ago, he goes, guys, what is making Kyle Busch so fast? His team said, don't worry about it. We'll creep up on him.
All right, thanks, Jamie. The laps continue to fly by. 48 are in the books of 300. There's your top 5 here at Bristol. We're going to be back with a lot more action from the fastest half mile in the world after this message and a word from your ABC station. 58 laps in the book here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and let's reset it for you as we're getting ready to close out our second caution period. It'll be Kyle Busch with Casey Kane second, Joey Logano third, Greg Biffle, Carl Edwards fourth and fifth, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick sixth and seventh. Then it's Reed Sorensen, Justin Allgaier, and Paul Menard rounding out your top 10. Pace car coming through turns 3 and 4, pulls down onto the apron, and again our leader Kyle Busch has taken the high line. And the green flag waves, and we're back to racing at Bristol.
And once again, Casey Kane doesn't anticipate that very well. Greg Biffle gets a nice run on the outside, take over that second spot.
Biffle has not had a lot of success here at Bristol in the Nationwide Series. 2 top 10 finishes in his last 6 starts.
Now you see Brad Keselowski going pretty good on this restart on the outside. See right behind him, Reed Sorensen now in that yellow car, moving his way up.
Here comes Carl Edwards underneath Reed. And look at this log jam a little bit further back. That's Tony Raines in the 34, the 10 of Leffler, the 66 of Wallace.
Yeah, that's where all the new tires are right there. You see Stephen Wallace got 4 new tires. They're looking for somewhere to go behind this traffic.
I'll promise you the Cup guys that aren't in this race are sitting paying attention to these restarts and the things that are happening to the guys on the inside. Greg Biffle really loose that time in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, but now here comes Casey Kane. He's got a big run. Now he's got his tires cleaned off.
There you see Biffle, and there goes Casey. So Casey and Greg continue their battle, and Brad Keselowski right behind him in 4th, with Joey Logano just a touch further back in 5th. And now Keselowski's going to look to go underneath the 27.
Yeah, it looks like the longer they run, the better Brad Keselowski's car gets. I mean, he just keeps getting better the more laps they put on it.
Well, and can you say enough about what Greg Biffle has done for the 2017?
Yeah, Marty, I was thinking that same thing. It's just amazing. I mean, not to down this team. They're working extremely hard and giving Greg Biffle good cars, but he's making those cars look great and just shows the terrific talent he is.
And they also have a crew chief over there, Ricky Vires. This is his first season with that team, and it's been a good combination. Ricky's a great crew chief, and obviously Greg's a great driver, and they're doing good together.
You know, you mentioned Ricky Vires. Later we have the Legends race over on ESPN2. Vires was a tire changer on Harry Gant's Nationwide car when he won the spring race here in '92.
How about that? He worked for me over there, too. I was a tire changer on that car, too.
and look what it did for you.
Yeah.
All right, there's Kevin Harvick and Justin Allgaier, and that is for 8th, 9th, and Paul Menard is in 10th. Let's go on board with Justin, who finished 5th here last year and was really happy with his race car through practice and qualifying. Vince, you got more on this 12 car?
Well, Allgaier in qualifying, they just miscalculated the grip in the cool morning air, and that's why he had problems and started 30th. But they knew this car was bad fast, and if he would keep his nose clean, it wouldn't take long to get up through the field. So you do the math. He started 30th, now running 9th. 21 spots he's jumped up. The car doesn't have the side bite that he would like, and it's tight in the center, but there's no denying Justin Allgaier's on the move.
Yeah, I spent some time with Drew Blickensdorfer down in the garage area of the pits this morning and asked him, I said, which car do you think is one of the cars to beat here, or the cars to beat? And he pointed to that number 12 was the first one he said. He said, that car is really fast.
You have to really be impressed with that Penske organization with these two cars, both of them running extremely well, as we see real battle here with Trevor Banks.